One of the first things that Hitler did was he bullied other countries into one-on-one specific trade deals with Germany that heavily favored Germany. A lot of other world leaders at the time, like British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, believed that making economic concessions to Hitler would appease him, and that it would preserve peace in Europe, because they all knew he was kind of crazy. Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, Turkey, Sweden, they all made very specific one-on-one trade deals with Germany and Hitler that were heavily favored to Germany. Part of Hitler's strategy in the early 1930s was that he could make other countries dependent on Germany for trade, and that he could also weaken them economically so that later on it would be easier to invade and occupy them. And another part of this strategy was making the German economy as self-sufficient as possible to prepare them for war.
We don't need their lumber because we have our own forests, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need their oil and gas. We have more than anybody. So
the first thing Hitler also did was portray Jews as criminals, and he blamed them for the economic hardship in Germany. He said that they were the moral decay of society and that they were communists.
Terrible. He's a communist. The last thing we need is a communist.
Hitler took power in 1933, and by 1935 he had successfully revoked the citizenship of all Jews. Jews started fleeing Germany since Hitler came to power in 1933 because they feared that he was going to detain them and lock them up for indefinite amounts of time.
$450 million U.S. to hold undocumented immigrants in the middle of the Everglades.
The model going forward, Mr. President?
It can be. I mean, you don't always have land so beautiful and so secure. We have a lot of bodyguards and a lot of cops that are in the form of alligators. You don't have to pay them so much.
And that was years before Hitler had really even started his concentration camps. In 1939, when World War II had already started, countries closed their borders around the world to Jews. Even Canada closed their borders because at the time we said there was just too many of them. And this move really emboldened Hitler more, that he believed he could do whatever he wanted with them. It wasn't until 1943 when rumors really started to spread that there could potentially be concentration camps in Germany. It was in 1944 when the Soviet troops liberated the first camp in Poland. When they notified the Western countries, they didn't believe them and they said that it was propaganda. But in 1945, when U.S. troops started liberating camps, it was only then that they started to believe the full scale of the industrial genocide of Jews.